Hello, my name is Emily Crow from The Cozy Crow, and welcome to my YouTube channel, and welcome to today's special vlog. I am so excited to be attending the Great Basin Fiber Arts Fair here in Farmington, Utah. This is, I think the fourth time that I've come to this fair now. It's my third time vlogging it, so I'm going to not show as much, I think, because watching a super long vlog of just looking at another fair is maybe not as interesting, but I'm going to try to show the highlights and the things that really catch my eye. I'll make sure to share my haul when all things are said and done. I am also really excited. This is the first time that I'm attending a class here at the Great Basin Fiber Arts Fair. It's the Woolen Watercolors class, I think is what it's called. Basically, it's a felting art kind of thing. So I'm really excited to be able to participate in that. So first we're gonna wander around the Great Basin Fiber Arts Fair, look at the vendors, maybe make a few purchases. I don't have a budget today, which is either a really good thing or a really bad thing. There's nothing particular in mind that I really want to make sure I grab, and because I've been to this fair before and am more familiar with what's here, I feel like I'm going to be able to decide in the moment what needs to come home with me. So we're going to take a quick look at the fair. It's like two warehouse barn type things. They're not super huge, but you'll see in this video if you haven't seen in previous videos of mine. So it shouldn't take super long for me to walk through, do some exploring, and then get ready for my class this afternoon. So let's go. I was so excited to go to the Great Basin Fiber Arts Fair this year. First, I tried out the marketplace, and I think this is the perfect size, honestly. There's just two buildings about this size that has the marketplace, all sorts of different vendors from, fun little alpacas. We got even some clothing items, yarns, both locally made as well as locally dyed. So there's a really cool variety here. I love Dizzy Alpaca. I did not buy anything this year, but that's kind of my one regret. This was really cool, this 3D printed stuff. And Greenwood has some really amazing braids. If I could go back, I would go back now that I am obsessed with felting. You'll see later so many different kinds. I love that there's all these sorts of organizations that you can join if you want to be a part of that. And look at these stunning tonals. Again, this would have been so beautiful to pick up, but I did not. I had some self-restraint. There's some embroidery too, because that is part of the fiber arts. Definitely not as common as the spinning and knitting and crocheting, but look at this local dyer as well. And these silk threads, beautiful color palette. Again, not something that I participate in. Some beautiful tonals. It's Nickel and Mr. B. I bought one of their bags last year. I did not buy one this year, but they have a really cool selection. Even some cute little crochet items and these stickers. So cute. Such a variety, so you could really pick whatever suits you. I saw some really cute ones. And these buttons even, there's really only one place like this in this fair, which is really cool. Yarnacious's show colorway, I did not pick up, but this is really beautiful. I definitely know that some people would love this when it rains. Stunning. And Yarnatius also had all the doodle bar stuff out. They had different samples you can see in the back, and they had decks and things around too. Some looms. I don't remember this person from previous years, so that was really cool to see. Happy Creative Studios has some really fun stitch markers. And again, obsessed with mini skeins. I was really obsessed, and so these caught my eye, and I really almost bought this set. Here is building number 2 for the marketplace. Pettifours and Pearls, which is a local store in Lehi, Utah, had some goodies as well as some notions and things that you could pick up. Some fleece, if you're one of those people that can prep your fiber too, which fibers, I was really looking forward to seeing their selection. Beautiful stuff. This pottery was also really stunning. I remember them from past shows. Some more alpaca yarn. Again, that fiber that I wish I could go back for. Seago Fibers, stunning tonals. And Candy Shop yarns, I love their decorations. Like, they have so much fun with their theme, which makes it really fun to shop whenever there's like a trunk show or they are at a show like this. It's just such a cool experience. Some baskets, again, kind of yarn adjacent. We have this needle punch art, beautiful. You can even do a little mug rug if you wanted to. I grabbed some of these minis from Lovejoy Fibers. And I really almost grabbed some of these sock sets from this dyer as well. And I found some YouTubers, which was so fun. Some really beautiful, sustainable yarn that I had my eye on. And this was a new to me dyer, so Happy Jane. Love their stuff. I did not end up purchasing as part of this pre-order, but it's available still today, I think. And then this nice stretch, Dragon Horde, Sinful Yarn, and Yarn Cafe Creation. They're all part of a family, which was so fun to see all of their booths right next to each other and to kind of like go back and forth between the booths. This light reactive, so cool. And time for my class. I had so much fun. This is my first class. It was a little louder than I would have liked, but we got some good supplies, had lots of wool to choose from, and you can kind of see the transformation. Not quite sure what it looks like, but now you can really see I made mountains. I did like a meadow in front, and there's what it looks like. All right, we are all done. I had my class and I had so much fun. I had to hurry through the marketplace a little bit, but I was able to get some really good stuff that I'm super excited about. I definitely picked up momentum and I've got quite the haul to share with you. I definitely was more judicious at the beginning, trying to just look and not just buy everything that looked pretty. And I have some really fun plans for what I purchased. So probably tomorrow, because I need to drive all the way back home and it'll get dark by the time I'm there. But I will show you a haul probably tomorrow, and then you can see all the fun things that I've so many fun goodies from the Great Basin Fiber Arts Fair. All right, I am back. It is another day. It is Saturday, a chore day. So that's why I look like this. We have done lots of things. Moved our fridge back inside our house. It was in the garage because we got our kitchen done, and our kitchen is actually done, which is so exciting. But we got lots of chores done today, and I'm finally able to sit down and talk to you about all the things that I got at the Great Basin Fiber Arts Fair. I'm not going to go in any particular order, but I'm going to share these yarns and these goodies and where I found them. So first, this is AT Designs by John. Made these 3D printed needle stoppers. So these actually slide onto the cord, the little like mouth. I don't know how well you can see, there's like a little face on it. So you can slide it onto the cord to stop your needles. Instead of having the needle stopper shoved on the end of the needle, this slides onto the cord to keep things secure. So that's kind of fun, something different. I thought it would be fun to try. And they gave me these little stitch markers that are in the shape of sheep. This was just like free with purchase. Really hard to see because they're clear. Can you see that? They're like in a little sheep shape. Anyway, they gave those to me as a bonus for my purchase, so that was kind of fun. And then this is a new to me dyer that I'm really excited about, and I followed on Instagram, and I'm probably going to pre-order from their Winnie the Pooh collection that they have going on through, I think, maybe the 28th. So I'm gonna try really hard to post this video before that pre-order ends so that you can take a look at that. But this is So Happy Jane, and this color is called Cheers to the New Year. This is stunning. There's like this almost like robin's egg, minty blue green type of color, these beautiful woodsy, naturey type of speckles. Honestly, the perfect spring colorway. I'm so excited to see this worked up. And then I got this color to go with it. This is called Fog. I'm sorry, I wish the lighting was a little better. I've got some shadows here for sure. But I think that these two go really well together. This will probably be an accent for maybe a pair of socks. I think would be really fun, but I haven't decided what I'm making. I just thought it would be fun to work these up together. I also got this really fun springy mini skein set, and this is Tiny Popper mini skein. Oh, I didn't even share the base. Okay, so these are 75, 25, extra fine superwash merino and nylon. It is their joyful fingering base. And then I also got a mini skein set that is very springy. These are the Tiny Popper mini skeins. They're almost the same, but not quite. They're 75, 25 superwash merino and nylon. So not the extra fine. So the texture might feel a little bit different, but they are both sock blends. And look at these beautiful colors. So fun. I was in a mini skein mood. I don't know what it is, but some beautiful mini skein sets. I just kept grabbing them, and I I just was in the mood for some mini skein sets. I'm not sure, but I will maybe use some of these in some gnomes this year. I'm doing the Year of Gnomes knit along. Let's see what is next. At the very end of my stay, I circled back around and I visited this family of dyers. There's Dragon Horde Yarns and Sinful Yarn and Yarn Cafe Creations. They're all related. Yarn Cafe Creations is mom and the other two are sisters. And so I bought a little bit from each of them. This is Dragonhorn Yarn and this is their Lore Sock set in the colorway Arwen, which is the main skein, and then these two minis were with it. So beautiful. I love this color, and it has a very similar dye style to Bibliophile, which is another color I have of theirs that I'm really loving how it's working up. But I love the purpley, mauve-y type of tones in here. Definitely my color palette, and these two minis are just so pretty and pastel-y. Don't know what I'll make. Maybe socks. And then from Tristan as well, I got this set of stitch markers. There's a couple of these, like, I don't know if they're resin moons. And then this really cute patchwork sweater, adorable, and not intentionally, but they definitely suit each other, these stitch markers and this yarn. I just have a color palette that I really like. And then from Alaska, the other sister, I bought these two show special colorways. And I showed them in the vlog portion, but these are amazing. This base, can you see? There's rainbow neps and there's rainbow sparkle, which is so unique. I've seen a lot of stellina, but it'll be like gold stellina or silver stellina. I've even seen a couple like bronze stellina, but I've never seen a rainbow stellina. And having the rainbow stellina and the rainbow neps just makes this so fun. This one is the Underworld, and this is called Court of Dreams. And I thought they would look really good together, especially if I did like a Halloween type project. To supplement this, I got from Yarn Cafe Creations, I got this, which is their vanilla colorway from the Barista collection. Again, the same base. They said that besides these two dyers, there's only one dyer they know of that has this base, so it's really hard to find. So if you love having this rainbow nep, rainbow sparkle to it, then definitely check out these two dyers. I'm not sure who the third dyer is that they know of that has this, but it's not a common base. Super fun. So yes, that's the plan, is to make some Halloween something or other with these three colors together. I thought about also getting like an orange, and I just knew that I would make a small enough project that if I had 4 full skeins of yarn dedicated to that project, that I would have a ton left over. So I'm gonna make do with these 3, and I think it'll be really pretty. And then also from Alaska, she's got these stitch markers in her Etsy shop, but I was able to snag a pair. This is like the Hostess Christmas trees that really don't taste that good, but they are iconic to look at, and I've been eyeballing these, so I'm glad she had these at her stand so I could grab a pair. Thank you, Alaska, for gifting those to me. I also grabbed some mini skeins from Lovejoy. They did like, you could buy one for this price or buy 5 or buy 10 or whatever. I ended up deciding on 5 because I saw this one that I loved and I wanted to take home for sure. It's called Into the Desert. So fun. And I had such a hard time picking more minis to go with it, especially because I didn't have a plan necessarily. I just love having more minis to choose from in my stash. But I thought, hey, I will grab a bunch of tonals that I can use in gnomes. And I use this as my guiding color palette just to help me narrow things down because mentally I just couldn't figure out what I wanted to grab. Ta-da! Here is the stack of minis all together that I grabbed. I think they look really good together. I'm not necessarily going to use them together, but I could, which was the point. So I've got, this is called Evermore. This is called Sun Kisses, and I accidentally grabbed the sparkle base. So that was a fun surprise. I wasn't necessarily intending to. The sparkle you can't see super well in the lighting that I have, but it is a sparkle base. There's a silver stellina in there. This one is called Odd Squad. This is, wow, oh my gosh. This is like a purpley mauve brown, almost like a mushroom. Then this last one is called Cherry Bomb, which is such a fun pink. And honestly, might have been the perfect pink for the gnome I just finished because I was trying to find the perfect pink and I was having a hard time. So I just used something from my stash that worked well enough. This might have been the vibe. So yes, I'm really happy with this mini skein set that I put together myself, and probably most of it will go to gnomes, but who knows what I will make with this. My last mini skein set is one that I did not put together myself. This one is from Candy Shop Yarns, and it's still in the plastic, so I do apologize for the rustling, but this is their Blushing Lilacs Fade Set, and I was on the Stellina for some reason, but this is that set. You can kind of see the Stellina sparkle a little bit. It is hard with the plastic, but these colors are Gilded Petals, Rosy Dawn, Orchid Glow, Lilac Haze, and Velvet Plum. They also had a full skein set of this. If they had a 50-gram skein set, I might have bought that. But I just couldn't swing getting 5 full skeins because the only project I could really think of is like making a shawl, and I just was not feeling making a massive shawl with 5 full skeins of yarn. The Schlanket type of thing, I was not in the mood for that, but I really love these colors together, so I figured I'd grab the mini skein set, and then maybe I'll make a pair of socks with it, or I can make a fun hat, some fading or color blocking or something. I think it'll be fun, but again, I love these colors.
I totally forgot about these earrings from Mark & Count. They're so pretty. They have a sparkle. They're kind of like a periwinkle color.
That's everything that I purchased from the Great Basin Fiber Arts Fair. Now let's take a look at the class that I took, and I can talk a little bit about this. So the teacher was Tammy, and she has been doing this class a lot. And it was really fun to get some tips and tricks from her on how to play around with felt and even how to use other fibers besides wool in order to make these watercolor style paintings. And she actually said that doing 2D images is way easier than doing a 3D needle felting piece, which was great news because I have tried a little bit of 3D felting and it has not gone super great for me, and I'm sure there's lots I could learn, but this was such a fun experience and I felt like I learned a lot. I got to be creative, and the best part about working with wool instead of working with actual watercolors or other paints, if I put some wool down and I didn't like it, I could usually peel it up mostly, or at least separate it out, kind of move it out of the way, or layer on top to kind of add dimension to the color. If I felt like my sky was too blue, I could kind of, mute it a little bit by putting white on top or something. And so it made it really fun to just kind of play around and continuously add more and more wool until I was happy with my results. So I'm going to show you my picture that I'm really proud of. And as part of the class, we got the picture frame and we got some other supplies I'll show in just a second. But this is my picture. Look at that. I'm so proud of it. With the mountains and like a meadow going on in the front. So fun. And I had so much fun that I seriously considered buying some wool for felting at the Great Basin Fiber Arts Fair. I really didn't have time to like run through the shop and look for a lot more wool to play around with. I do have little bits of wool in my stash. I have like a needle felting kit that I purchased a long time ago, just a little one. And so I'll probably pull that out and play around with it. And when I get a chance, I'll go to my local yarn store or maybe purchase from a dyer and get some wool braids that I can play around with, because I'm not a spinner, but I could use those beautiful hand-dyed braids in order to make some really pretty pictures. I had such a fun time. So I'm really excited with how this turned out. As part of the class, Tammy had tons of wool and other fibers around in many colors that we could pull from, like more than a full table's worth of just stuff we could kind of sort through and play around with. So that was part of the materials fee. We also got this picture frame. I can't remember how much I paid. It was maybe like $60 or $65 for this class. So other than the instruction, we got access to the materials. We got this to take home. We have a little folder of some tips as well as her information so that we can contact her later if we have any questions. She's allowing herself to be more accessible for her learners. This is Tammy Jordan. There we go. That's her name. And her business is Goldie Knots, Montana. But she does classes all the way up in Oregon, all the way out to more like Midwest area too. And so that was really fun to have some resources here, both in like where to buy some wool if you're interested, some bats if you like that, and also some tips and tricks were included in here, not just in her verbal instruction to us. We got a multi-tool for felting. We also got a foam block that she traced on her own. I think this is maybe an 8x10 is the outer block, and then this inner one is a 5x7. I don't actually know. I haven't measured it. I think the inner one is a 5x7 though. I'm pretty sure about that. So that was really helpful to have kind of a guide for sizing our piece. We got 2 other single needles that we could use as well. A really good start to wool felting. I had so much fun and I'm so excited to do it again and just play around with colors. I am not a super artistic person, but I am a very creative person. So it was really fun to try something new and take a class because I've never taken a class before at a festival or fair. So that was really fun. So I definitely recommend that you try it out if there's something that you want to learn or work on, because it was a fun and different kind of environment than just being at the fair in general. I really love the Great Basin Fiber Arts Fair. I love that it is free to attend. I love that it is a pretty casual and a smaller sized environment, but there's lots and lots of makers of a variety of crafts and supplies that are available to the public that you can purchase from. I think the marketplace is a really good size for just exploring and getting to see not only yarns or notions or other things you may want to purchase. There's a couple things that are adjacent, like there was a pottery booth as well, things like that, but there was also some guilds and other organizations that you may want to be a part of if you're in the local area. So honestly, it is such a good experience and low-key enough that I feel like it's really approachable and accessible for any kind of maker or even someone who is just vaguely interested in the fiber arts. It would be really fun to wander through, even if you are not a knitter or crocheter. I've made a couple of these videos in the past, so I'll make sure to link them up above and down below if you want to take a look. The general feel of the fair definitely stays the same, but it's something that I really enjoy and I want to go back to every single year since I've been going. So I definitely encourage you, if you're local, to take a look at it next year and come visit in Farmington, Utah. And let me know if you have any fiber festivals or fairs that you really love and that have kind of stolen your heart. I would love to hear which shows you recommend so that maybe one day I could travel and go see some other fair experiences, because I always love going to this one and I would love to go to others in the future. Thanks again for joining me for this video, and until next time, happy making. Bye!